Welcome to our Power BI data modeling and visualization tutorial. Today we will create a data model based on 16 tables, 5 of which we will create using DAX queries and model relations. This is our base data, which is in MS Excel file. We have originally 11 tables, or Excel sheets, which we will import into the Power BI desktop application. We will today create flow of orders, from broker to buyer, using order IDs. We will create this using DAX queries, and then we will visualize this flow through a Sankey chart. So, without further delay, let's start our tutorial. Click on the Excel Workbook button, and open the Indigeno Technologies Excel file. This file contains 11 Indigeno Technologies tables which are interrelated. Select all 11 tables in the Navigator window, and click on the Load button, to load these tables into the data pane. This is the data pane, where you will find all the tables and their respective fields. You can use all these fields to create dashboards and visualizations in your Power BI reports. Let's move ahead and go to the model view. All our tables are interrelated. Power BI can guess most of the relationships from column names. For example, product ID is available in all tables, and it has exactly the same title in all tables. Same goes for other columns as well. Wherever buyer ID is used, it has the same title. This helps Power BI identify columns and create relationships. It is therefore suggested to use same column names across tables to avoid manual labor. Let's rearrange these tables. We will place all tables with unique IDs on the left side, and all tables that use those IDs on the right side. These are all the tables with unique IDs. And these are the tables that use those IDs, meaning IDs are used multiple times in these tables, and they are not unique. These lines between the tables are the relationships, connecting one table to the other. These relationships are created by Power BI automatically, based on column names. At the end of each line, there is either 1 or a star. You can observe that all tables on left side have 1 at the end of relationship line. And all tables on right have a star at the end of relationship line. Star means many, and 1 at one end and star at the other end means one-to-many relationship. The arrow in the middle of the relationship line represents the cross-filter direction. If the arrow is in one direction, the cross-filter direction is single, and table towards which the arrows is pointing will get filtered based on other table. If the arrow is in both directions, it means that the cross-filter directions is set to both, meaning both tables can filter each other. The cross-filter direction is normally from tables with unique IDs towards tables with duplicated IDs. Just as you can observe in the model here. Now, we will create some tables based on this data model. And we will create some new relationships, and also we will delete and modify the existing ones as per our requirement. To create new tables and columns, let's go to the table view. The first table that we will create will be called Flow 1, and it will create flow from broker to supplier. We will use the Select Columns function to create a column from the Order ID column in the Orders table. Now, we will go back to the model view and connect this table to the Orders table and the Purchases table, which have the broker IDs and the supplier's IDs against order IDs. Those tables are already linked to the broker and supplier table, which we want to connect to. After connected to the tables, make sure that all relationships are active. If a relationship is not active, turn the Active button from No to Yes. If another relationship is in conflict, delete the existing one, and then try to activate the relationship again. For example, here Products table and Orders table have a direct relationship, which is in conflict with the relationship we want to create. So we will delete this one, and again attempt to activate the relationship we created. Turn this button to Yes, and click on the Apply Changes to activate the relationship. And this time, we succeeded. Now we can add brokers and suppliers to our table, based on relationships, using the related function. We will call the first column source. And using the related function, we will bring the brokers from the broker table to this column. If the current table has no direct or indirect connection, the broker table will never show up inside the related function. In the same way, we will bring the suppliers from the supplier table. If values do not appear in the column, that means there is something wrong with the relationship. It is there, but it is not working. We can go to the model view and revisit the relationship. And just as expected, the order ID is connected to the product ID, which is wrong. Let's connect it to order ID. And click on the Apply Changes button as well. Now, the column in Table View should have values in it. Now, we will create another table, name Flow 2, which will contain the flow from suppliers to logistics partners. Just like before, the first column will be the order ID from the orders table. And just like before, we will go to the model view and connect this table to the relevant tables. First of all, we will connect this table to the Flow 1 table, after which all connections to the Flow 1 table will be available to this table as well. To test our theory, let's go to the table view and import the suppliers from the suppliers table using the related function. Suppliers will be the source in this table. Previously they were used as destination. The suppliers table is indirectly related, that is why it is available in the related function. And that is why we can access the suppliers as well. The other column will be called destination just like before. And we will use the logistics partners as destinations here. However, the table is not related directly or indirectly, therefore, it is not available here. We must first create a relationship to that table in the model view. Back to the model view, we can connect any of these two tables to the logistics table. Let's connect the Flow 2 table with the logistics table using the order ID field. As usual, we must ensure that the connection is active. If it is not, we must find the conflicting relationship and delete that. Here the relationship between delivery table and the products table is causing the problem. Let's trace that relationship and delete it. After deleting the conflicting relationship, we can try again to activate the relationship we created. Turn on this button and click on the Apply Changes to activate the relationship. We can now simply go back to the data view and add the logistics partners from the logistics table using the related function without any problems. Now, just like before, we will create the Flow 3 table and add the order IDs from the orders table as first column. Just like before, we will go to the model view and connect the Flow 3 table to the Flow 2 table. And then, we will connect the Flow 3 table to the installation table, through which we can access the services partners. Again, we will make sure that the connection is active. If not, we will trace the conflicting connection and delete it. After deleting the conflicting connection, we will activate the relationship by turning on the Activate button and clicking on the Apply button. Then we will go back to the table view and simply add the source and destination columns. In this table, logistics partners are used as sources and services partners are used as destinations. Logistics partners are the companies that deliver our product to our buyer. And services partners are responsible for installing and setting up the product for our buyers. They also provide after-sale services to our buyers on our behalf. This table is now complete. Let's create a flow for table, using the same order IDs column as first column. This time source will be the services partners, and destination will be the buyers. Buyers are the final destination of our product, and the flow we want to present. And just like earlier, we will connect our flow for table to the flow 3 table. Then we will connect the flow for table to the sales table to access buyers. We will ensure that the relationship is active, and if it is not, we will delete the relationship it is in conflict with. And then we will activate this relationship by turning on the Activate button and applying the changes. Then we will go to the data view and add the source and destination columns using the related function. We will add services partners as source and buyers as destination. As buyer is the last destination of our product, this is the last flow table. After this we will just merge these tables to create a single source destination table. To combine these tables, we will create a new table. Let's call this table Flow All. We will use the simple union function, and in the parameters, we will include the names of all 4 tables. And we will just press Enter to combine all these 4 tables into one. To present the flow of products from brokers to buyers, we will use a Sankey chart, which is not available in Power BI by default. Therefore, we will import one from a file. You can also get one from Microsoft Store. So, first we will add this visual to our dashboard, and place it nicely on the entire page, leaving only enough space at top for dashboard title. Now, let's look for the Flow All table, which has all the flow tables combined. From the Flow All table, add the source field to the source area, and destination to the destination area. Now, add the order ID field to the wait area as count, renaming it to number of orders. Now we can see flow of orders from brokers to suppliers to logistics to services and finally to the buyers. Let's add visual borders and rounded corners to our Sankey chart. Now, add the year and quarter fields from the date hierarchy in the orders table. Change the visual to a slicer. And from format settings, add visual borders and rounded corners to this slicer visual. Change the slicer type to a drop-down. And place this slicer at the top right corner of the dashboard. Now, test this slicer by selecting values from the years or quarters. If the slicer is not working, we need to go back to the model view. Go to the model view and connect the Flow All table to the orders table using the order ID field. Now, get back to the report view and the slicer should start working. Create a copy of the slicer visual and place it next to the existing one on the left side. Replace the date field with the product name field from the products table. Now, you can view the flow of individual product type from supplier to buyer. Finally, add a text box to your dashboard and place it at the top of the page with an appropriate title. Add visual borders and rounded corners as well. Our dashboard is now complete. We can display product-wise and year or quarter-wise flow of order from broker to buyer on a Sankey chart. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful tutorials and updates. And wait for the next part of this multi-part tutorial.